Listen to this. Andrea Johnson's meeting with then Police Minister Senzo Mchunu has been revealed, but she denies discussing the controversial PKTT investigation with him. Let's hear the full story.
That is correct, Commissioner Khumalo, and then it conflicts in any event with what is asked in point 6 of the summons.
Advocate Johnson, you could not possibly have signed the summons that we are discussing without having gone through it line by line, sentence by sentence. Am I correct?
Correct, Chair.
Now, if that be the case, especially regard being held to the fact that you say IPID was not investigating the PKTT, on what basis, having read paragraph 6 of this, of Annexure B, on what basis would we have authorized paragraph 6 of this document? And the answer, let me upfront say, cannot lie in whatever briefing you may have been given. It cannot lie there. So on what basis would we have authorized paragraph 6 of the summons?
Again, Chair, and not to be obstinate, I really rely on I rely on a briefing. What I'm saying is, I would have asked questions about this. I need to engage Perima. What did we talk about this? And for this to land here, for me to have attested my signature. I was able to explain the other things, including about Jacobs. I'm unable to give Chair a reasonable explanation.
You are stating what IPID was not investigating in the past tense. So I understand that to mean that even at the time you signed the summons, that was your understanding. PKTT is not being investigated, correct?
Chair.
It is exactly for that reason that I say to you, the answer for authorizing paragraph 6 cannot lie in a briefing that you might have been given. It cannot. That briefing would have been irrelevant to what was being investigated, correct?
Correct.
Now, if it were irrelevant, paragraph 6 would also have been irrelevant in terms of what you required for purposes of your investigation. Correct?
Correct, sir.
Now it must follow automatically then that you ought not to have authorized paragraph 6 of the summons, correct?
I agree with the Chair.
Yeah. So are you able to explain then? Because again, I repeat, the briefing is totally irrelevant. On what basis then did you authorize paragraph 6 of the summons?
I don't have an explanation for you, Chair. Not from just my reading of it. And exactly what I say is, and I really don't want to frustrate you and be going in circles. That's not my... Sorry.
I will let you answer and say everything you want to say. I just want to say, I assure you I'm not going to be frustrated. Please go ahead.
Thank you. It's just, for me, sometimes it is the context that triggers why I did something. I'm reading it as I read it.
Yes.
And as irritating as it may be, I do need the context of what was discussed between Mr. Perumal and I. In the absence thereof, I have no explanation for you, Chair, given that I have indicated that we had no investigation against the PKTT.
Yeah, based on the discussion that you and I have just had, do you think that context could ever change the picture? Because you say you've agreed with me that whatever briefing you might have been given would have been irrelevant to what was being investigated for the simple reason that you were not investigating the PKTT. So I do not understand how context, as you put it, could have been relevant to the question as to why you authorized paragraph 6. If the briefing could not be relevant, how could this context be relevant? Or let me ask it this way, maybe we will go quicker that way.
Sorry.
Just like the briefing would have been irrelevant, something you've agreed to, I suggest to you that the context as well would have been irrelevant. Do you agree? Surely you must.
I agree. I can't take this point any further. I'm not going to get to a reasonable explanation for this.
Yes. So that, in a sense, ties in with Kumalo's, I'm very sorry, with Commissioner Kumalo's point that isn't what is behind all of this some inarticulate premise that we have not been told about? Isn't that the real explanation? Send it. Do you want to please respond?
I didn't even see him accept your apology, Chair. No, I took the point. I took the point.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Are you, before you leave this annexure, I wanted to deal with the Public Service Commission report of August 2023. If you're going to deal with it, I'm going to.
Now, I'm just going to make comments regarding the PKTT, but we are still in that annexure. By the annexure, we're talking Section 28 summons.
They are all part of.
And the responses there too.
Earlier, but now that you've said it, you must have direct knowledge because you were briefed before you approved this summons. So you're the right person to look to give an explanation on your summons. We're not at the point where we are asking Mr. Perumal what informed him including it in the summons. That's not the discussion we are having. The discussion we are having is why did you approve it in the summons? So you must have had knowledge of what this is about. You said to the chair at the end of your discussion, you said, yeah, Chair, I don't have a reasonable explanation for this as matters stand. I think, speaking for myself, I'm interested in the explanation, reasonable or unreasonable. There is an explanation for this. You must have an explanation for this. So the topic doesn't end at, well, I don't have a reasonable explanation, I see I messed up. You must have an explanation what was going on when you approved this. And it is that explanation that you are not giving us, and it's, in my view, it's not satisfactory an answer. It's not a satisfactory answer for you to say that I must still speak to Perumal, and because he could cook up anything. At this point, I'm not interested in what Mr. Perumal tells you because of what you signed off. I'm interested in why did you sign it off. So that's the first point. And so you haven't yet given us an answer, but I think you do have an explanation, you just have not given it to us. A second point, and I say this, if you want to comment, you can, but I just want to list my concerns. A second point is, having signed off on the summons, which has paragraph 6 in it, your answer, whether to the ad hoc committee or to us, that you were not aware of an investigation into the PKTT in the face of this summons is not correct. It could not have been correct unless you said to us, I signed without reading the summons. And that's not what you have said, right?
No.
You have told us, I read it and I got a
Correct.
briefing on it. So just from reading, even without a briefing, from reading this which is put before you, you would have known that there is an investigation of the PKTT, even if it is limited to promotions. And even if we said it is limited to promotions, you would have known on the day that you signed this that there is an investigation. And where you represent that, or where you answered that I'm not aware of the PKTT and of an investigation against them, that answer was not correct, as your summons tells us. In fact, I think if I speak frankly, that answer was false when you gave it. And the falsity is evidenced by paragraph 6 of your summons. Do you want to comment? I do have a last direct question that I would like to ask you, but do you have any comment on these two that I'm putting to you?
Commissioner Baloy, I honestly said I was unaware of a PKTT investigation. I understand it's not reconciling with this and why I signed it. I, however, have to take responsibility for having signed this.
Let me ask you, lastly, my direct question. Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to correct you. There's a nuance between you were not aware of a PKTT investigation and there was no PKTT investigation. IDEC was not investigating the PKTT. Just now, you said you were not aware of an investigation. Big difference.
Okay.
Do you agree with me?
I agree. What I wanted to convey when I came back was I checked with the project manager. There is no PKTT investigation. I checked with Mr. Padiachi. There's no PKTT investigation.
But you said...
And I am also not aware of a PKTT investigation.
Yes. Crucially, you said, when I engaged you, you said, as at the time you signed, there was no PKTT
investigation.
That's a very important distinction.
All right. Thank you. Now my direct question to you. Outside of a briefing by Chief Perumal to do with this summons,